I just want to pinpoint certain things to Zimbabweans, my brothers and sisters, mothers and fathers, and all. When a constitution is drafted, Uncle Gerard, Moff Titus, and Zimbabweans, and there are three common words that are used in a constitution in its write-up. There's constantly a word shall, must, may. When you see a section of the constitution that has got must or shall, they say something different to may. May is discretionary. Must is obligatory, or shall it's an obligation imposed. Our defense force have had an obligation imposed on it by the people that it protects, which is us, the citizens. When the constitution was drafted and crafted years back, 13 years ago, the people of Zimbabwe saw it fit that the defense force had a mandate to protect the people of Zimbabwe from both external and internal abuse of power, internal attack on the sovereignty of the people, not on the sovereignty of a president or the sovereignty of an executive or the sovereignty of a parliament, but sovereignty of the people of Zimbabwe as a nation. So we are here at a juncture whereby already in Zimbabwe, the doctrine of separation of powers has long lost its relevance. And the few institutions that are mandated by the Constitution, one of those institutions that are mandated by the Constitution to uphold and protect the Constitution and the people of Zimbabwe is the Defense Force. The parliament lost its relevance since they accepted to attend events at Precab, given cars, given things that have made them to forget who they are serving. Because the parliament should have been holding the executive accountable to even not need the Zimbabwe Defense Forces to be drawn into the political space. What has made the Zimbabwe Defense Force to be drawn into political space for time immemorial, even way back to 2017, is because those that were vested with the power in the three arms of the state to protect Zimbabwe's integrity, to serve it with integrity, lost their core. They lost their business. Then it resulted in the army being drawn. When they said we are restoring legacy in 2017, which currently Mnangagwa and the group of criminals which he is working with are afraid, is the same thing that at one point in that military there will be, or in Zimbabwe Defense Force, there will be conscious people who will now act consciously to correct things, not to return Zimbabwe into the same mess we are by giving us another Mnangagwa. But they may do it to say, oh, let's do what has been done by Traore in Burkina Faso. So, Uncle Gerard, the amendments that are earmarked, they are not just there to weaken the defense force. They are there to just destroy the core of the constitution, the core of what remains as a symbol of some sort of an institution that may work for the people when there's a need, which should not be the case. We should not be having institutions the parliament should be an institution that is independent from the executive, that serves the people. The courts should be an institution that is impartial. Same as the defense force, it should be apolitical. Means that it should not be found in any political space to work incoherent with a political party or to drive agenda of a political party, but it should serve the people of Zimbabwe. What the changes tells us, Uncle Gerard, the changes, they are not just mere proposals, but the changes to section 212 is a serious mischief, Uncle Gerard. It's a serious mischief that brings serious risk to the whole entirety of the Zimbabwean citizenry. It doesn't just weakens institutions. It remove the coexistence, because where we are heading, like many have been saying, to say we are heading to a kingdom. A kingdom understands one thing. It comes down, it's a top-down approach. There is no other approach that they will understand. It's what Mnangagwa want to impose. A top-down approach whereby the military cannot be independent to work in its independent, to say, yes, indeed, you are the commander-in-chief, but when a commander-in-chief is committing treason against the nation, the people that are under him, they are given mandate and the power to protect a country from a treasonous act. Where we are in these few coming days, it's a time for us as a nation to rethink, to say, are we able to defend the limited rights that we have? Because currently, Mnangagwa and ZANU-PF, they have not yet respect for the Bill of Rights, which comprises all these rights: health, sanity, education, basic quality, housing, all these rights. Now they are hammering on areas of the constitution that offer protection, that mean give them mandate to say, you need to do this. When you are elected, you need to do 1, 2, 3, 4. And when you are elected, you should not do 1, 2, 3, 4. They are done. Anamafume, they are done with making Harare a useless city. They are done to say, we are not going to offer services to people. We are not going to offer people their enshrined rights and freedoms which are in the Bill of Rights. That's why you see the interest to minimize the power of the military. The same way, making changes that remove a lot of safeguards that are already there in our constitution. Those safeguards, they were not put by mistake. And this section 2212 was not a mistake to have that authority vested in the defense force. It was done deliberately to give the people of Zimbabwe hope, to remind the Zimbabwe Defense Force to say, when there is an attack to our constitution, when there's an attack to our people, when there's an attack to our sovereignty, you have a duty to defend. Uncle Gerard, I don't want to go much, but there are fundamental things that people need to understand. What protection, the legal protection, does section 212 give to the people of Zimbabwe? It gives the military a constitutional justification for military action when there is a violation of our sovereignty by individuals within and external forces. So The agenda of saying the military should not self-deploy itself, it's restricted already, Uncle Gerard, by Section 213. There's a restriction there which limits the military to just deploy itself to say we're going into the street now. We sense that there is A, B, C, and D. It can only go when there is a consensus, a general consensus, which is driven by the people that will summon the army, where the role of the chief commander-in-chief is superseded by the power of the constitution, because the commander-in-chief can never be above the constitution, and the constitution is the people. It's the people. So in this case, a commander-in-chief who is currently the executive, who has got executive powers, who has collapsed the judiciary, who has collapsed the parliament, want now to take complete power of the military. What will be left for us as a people to say these are the safeguards, this is what is there to protect us, this is what we can use when we feel that there is a threat to us? Democracy, Uncle Gerard, and governance, it's not centered on individuals and the party politics, whereby you think that you are a supreme being among everyone. This is what Mnangagwa and the few that are around him, and those that anyone currently who is part of the government in its three spheres or tiers, local, provincial, and national government, they are happy to whatever is being introduced, because it's prolonging their stay, it's prolonging the suffering of citizens, and prolonging the looting of our resources. For years, the Zimbabwe Defense Forces have failed to protect citizens. Once here and there, where they did, but did a mistake after they had attained power in protecting citizens. They lost that power and gave it back to a worse nightmare. The events that you highlighted, that they've been heading of the batting of heads in cabinet between the president and the vice president. I don't know whether it's early or it's too late, and also the leaked intel. We need to use all these to our advantage. There are still people in corridors of power who are not happy with this. There are people in the military who are not happy that most of them, they are being sent to retirement. Most of them, they will find themselves clipped, just being ceremonial, a ceremonial army that is just equipped better than Fawcett. That's what Mnangagwa want to give Zimbabweans. A ceremonial army that is just there to do displays at Heroes Acre, displays on Independence Day, but not serving the interest of the people of Zimbabwe. That those people have vowed to say, we will serve the people of Zimbabwe, we will protect the constitution of Zimbabwe, the supremacy of the constitution of Zimbabwe. Thank you.